Listen. As the first wave of our mini TIFF review dispatches leading up to our must-watch list, I wanted to mention two movies that I highly recommend, and also highly recommend you know nothing about going in. So most of you know the drill. I'm not going to talk spoilers until I release the spoiler videos closer to the release dates. I only want to talk about things that have been showcased in the trailers, but you know that I always feel the best experience is to go in blind. So, screw my watch time, stop this video so you can go in blank, and know that my one-word review for both of these is unrelenting. That said, for those of you who do want to know a little bit more, let me explain. Incredible. I don't usually give works of art right off the bat, but the Safdies are Tarantino's retiring, and they ran with the baton. We're talking about two brothers who have two certified, produced by Martin Scorsese, hits already. I even think this one may be better. The rewatchability is strong. The way they direct non-actors is seamless. These two got the expressed written consent of the NBA to use footage in their movie. And even Fin de Semana pokes fun at himself. It tells the story of Howie, a gambling addict hustling in New York's Diamond District who keeps getting in deeper and deeper debt to the point that I had to check my bank account because I could feel the overdraft fees. A lot of people only know Sandler as the guy who goes on vacation and then calls it a movie for tax purposes, but there is a whole nother side of Sandler, the actor, that's really, really good. You just, you don't see it as often, but this would be up there with one of the best performances of the year. On top of that, Kevin Garnett as himself, has no business being this good. You don't have to follow sports to enjoy this movie, but if you do, you'll also notice how the dialogue is practically a fourth quarter back and forth dribble. Like, I talk a lot, so I don't mind it when two characters are having a main convo in the front, but you could kind of still hear the background people who are talking, because it honestly makes sense. If you're talking in a jewelry store, you'd be able to hear everybody. It's kind of like that Fincher rule of not whispering inside of a club, but actually having your actors yell like they really would be doing. But I can see this being kind of, and I actually have heard some people say that it's really annoying to them. Some people said they were having speaker problems in their theater, but look, I loved it. I am also the one who listens to music interviews and Netflix simultaneously on times 2 speed, so maybe I'm just crazy as Howie, but I can't wait to rewatch it because I do think it's clear enough that you can actually go back on your second watch and choose who you want to pay attention to, and some of the background reactions are actually pretty funny.
The movie set in the Diamond District because our dad, when we were little, worked there, so we were kind of exposed to this amazing pocket of New York City, and we wanted to explore it, and there could have been no one else.
World. It's very old world. Yeah.
It's grimy, scummy, dirty, all the adjectives that can be used to describe New York City sewer water, but at the same time, it's a lesson. The ending at first gave me lockjaw, but after massaging it for a bit, I realized it's the perfect circle. Combo price until my rewatch. This is a mood piece. Depending on what kind of day you're having, it's either going to pierce your cerebral and aggravate you to death, or make you feel every emotion. As a fan of Krisha and It Comes at Night, I appreciated the filmmaking here, but I'll be honest, I simultaneously hated this movie and loved it. Let me start with the bad. There's a chance you might get nauseous with the camera movement since a lot of the shots revolve around being in the car as they're driving and pulling that Children of Men shot where it's going in circles, but it does it over and over to the point that I know some people at my screening literally walked out because of it. Waves is also part of the next wave selections at TIFF, which means it was picked by their youth-driven committee, and chances are if you're over a certain age, you may not know half of the songs that are blasting. And I mean blasting like an iPod Nano on shuffle throughout this movie, and there may be a generational disconnect. At 135 minutes, I didn't think it was long, but it does feel like 2 movies in one. I've heard some people even say that it feels like 3 or 5 because it's so energetic that it keeps shifting its pace. It's almost like you're channel surfing, but by the end of it, you end up on a channel that leaves you hopelessly depressed with just Lucas Hedges' goofy smile to cheer you up. That said, for the good, it's all of the negative points I just said, but they work for you. The camera movements put you in a trance, man. Like, I'm a huge fan of the behind the scenes to that Children of Men shot, so I was just in awe every time that they were doing different shots here. Like, they're going over bridges doing this, and he's been doing these kind of Malick-like, very Lubeski-esque, wavy shots where you don't know where one begins or ends. And even though I agree that sometimes the movements of the camera can get a little too overwhelming, there is never a still image in this movie. In terms of of the music, if you listen to any of these artists right here, make sure you go and you take a friend with you, because you'll be nodding your head alongside with them and Kelvin Harrison on screen. I'm personally really curious to see how many people are going to prefer the playlist in the first half as opposed to the second half, because I think they differ, and they almost kind of parallel each other also, because to me it does feel like two movies, but there's an interesting reason for it. If I could compare it to another movie, I would say it's like Place Beyond the Pines, and how it feels like a 2-in-1 special, where it's like you're getting the first movie and its sequel all in one package, but it works. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but hell, Lucas Hedges was great in this movie. Like, I know some of y'all love him, but I've been pretty vocal that I've tried to give the man a chance. I went deep into his IMDb. We even went to go see him live on Broadway just to give him the benefit of the doubt, right? To see him live. Maybe it was the camera. Nope. So believe me when I say that he was the best part of this movie, and I am not being sarcastic. I am still firmly Team Timmy, but he did good. Final point I'll make is that it might be better on a rewatch, since there are certain lines in the second half that completely changes the way you see certain scenes in the first, and it adds a whole new meaning to the title of Waves. So again, I don't know if I love this movie, but I can't stop thinking about it. And hell, that sounds like a successful movie to me.